When at sea and busy with their manoeuvres, the all teams rely on their shore-based routing crew. And among a router's essential accessories are a telephone, always close by, a computer and screens, and a cup of coffee to keep watch 24 hours a day. So a pair at sea and a trio ashore. Since last Sunday, Erwan Taverly, Simon Fisher and Chris Bedford have been scanning weather information to Charles Caudrelier and Erwan Israel aboard their Maxi Edmund Rothschild. We're constantly reloading the weather files and rerouting. We're always searching for the best route so they can take the best course. Today we're entering the doldrums, the windless zone near the equator. We're getting a lot of messages about squalls and clouds, whether they're going to pass through banks of cloud, whether the wind is going to ease off, strengthen, turn a little to the right or left. We try to give them information about the state of the sky and what they're going to get. In the 5 p.m. rankings, there's no change in the leaders, but there are now clear gaps between the all teams. Banque Populaire is keeping a firm grip on the lead as they head towards the mandatory marks Sao Pedro and Sao Paulo, which they should reach during the night. Ashore, the sailors are getting back into race mode. Start of leg 2 for the Ocean 50s and Class 40s is scheduled for this Monday morning in Lorient. For the IMOCA boats, the 40 competitors will set off on Tuesday morning in the Bay of Seine.
This is the latest from the Transat Jacques Vabre Normandie Le Havre. For the IMOCAs, there's a big start on the cards for Tuesday morning. Racing resumes, with a restart on Monday for the Class 40 and Ocean 50. Following the passage of storms Ciaran and Domingos, at the start of next week a suitable weather window is set to open, which will allow all of the record fleet of 40 IMOCAs to start the Transat Jacques Vabre Normandie Le Havre two-handed race to Martinique on Tuesday morning. Meanwhile, the 6 Ocean 50 multi-hulls and Class 40 fleet will resume their race Monday from Lorient, where they were stopped to avoid the storm force winds and big seas. The Ultim fleet left last Sunday on schedule, and they are outpacing the huge storms, and today they are approaching the doldrums. It's almost a week since the start of the 16th edition of the Transat Jacques Vabre Normandie Le Havre, which started last Sunday in Le Havre. This period was spent with the race direction and race management teams, watching closely for an opportunity to restart the race for all the boats which had their races put on hold. The sea will have calmed significantly in the Bay of Biscay and in the English Channel, explains Christian Dumard, the race meteorologist. The general westerly flow continues from the Atlantic, but the starts should be completed in manageable conditions. A new front does look set to come in and hit the Atlantic coasts from Wednesday, but we are seeing winds off 30 to 35 knots, which is much less violent than these recent storms. The program is as follows. For Class 40 and Ocean 50 fleets, the race will restart in Lorient on Monday morning the 6th of November. Monday at 10 to 30 hours local time, the 6 Ocean 50 will set sail on the second leg between Lorient and Fort-de-France, leaving the island of Sal, Cape Verde, to starboard. This 4,320-mile-long course will mean that the duos will have to dive south as soon as they are out of the Bay of Biscay. Their speeds should allow them to get away from the front moving into the near Atlantic on Wednesday. At 10:45 hours local time on Monday, the Class 40 boats will set sail on a 3,500-mile-long course to Fort-de-France. They will have to leave the island of Santa Maria, Azores, to starboard. This more direct route will mean that the monohulls will have to cross the front, but unlike Storm Ciaran, the winds will not be as strong and there are many more opportunities to avoid them, including in the Bay of Biscay, explained Christian Dumard. The first boats will leave the pontoons in Lorient at 8 in the morning, added Francis Le Goff, the race director. The start line will be set up between Talud Point in Lorient and a mark positioned offshore, at a distance of around 1 mile with a buoy in place for both classes. To avoid the worst winds and the deep low forecast for the 11th to 12th, we have put in place a mark that the sailors will have to pass to take them to the south. That is to say Santa Maria in the Azores for the Class 40 boats and a waypoint in the south for the Ocean 50 boats that we are working on with the race directors based on the latest weather forecasts, and which won't limit the skipper's options too much. 2 boats have officially retired in the Class 40 class, Movember and Acrobatica. 3 boats are undergoing repairs, Credit Mutual, Sogestran Seafrago, and Decupal, and they have said they intend to set sail again on Monday. As for Pireve à Perte de Vue, the crew has not officially retired, but the boat is still in the harbour in Le Havre. At this point, we cannot give a precise figure for the number of boats that will set off again. We will discover that at the last moment depending on how repairs have gone, added Francis Le Goff. It is important to stress that the start line will remain open for another 72 hours after that. For the 40 IMOCAs, their big departure is projected to be Tuesday, November 7th, at 9:30 a.m. from Le Havre. They will leave the Paul Vatine Basin from 4 a.m. and the sea lock gates will be open at 4:45 a.m. until 6 a.m. The IMOCA's 3,750-mile course also leaves the island of Santa Maria, Azores, to starboard as do the Class 40s. They will hit the front leaving the channel on Tuesday evening and Wednesday night, with 35 knots from the south, southwest and seas not exceeding 4 meters, according to Christian Dumard. As per plans for last Sunday, there will be full photo and video coverage, and it will be broadcast live on the networks. In collaboration with race management and the classes, we have calibrated everyone's courses and timings according to the weather windows to prioritize the safety of sailors and boats. That was the prerequisite. At the same time, we have done everything possible to ensure that the start of this superb fleet of 40 IMOCAs benefits from the best possible media coverage, and we have no doubt that once again, the images will be superb, concluded Gildas Gautier, co-director of the Transat Jacques Vabre Normandie Le Havre.